on. So we went from talking about one GOAT to another, or a GWOAT, right? So the question I want to ask is about the name GWOAT itself is kind of odd anyway, but did Claressa Shields claim GWOAT status too early? I'll let you go ahead and take that, JD.
I'm going to say yes, she did. And the reason why I'm going to say that she claimed GWOAT status too early is for a couple of reasons. Let me get to the first one. First, reason why I say she claimed it too early is if we're going to talk about Claressa Shields being the GWOAT, part of why she claims to be the GWOAT is factoring in her Olympic track record.
All right.
Right? So she factors in the 2 Olympic gold medals that she got in the Olympics. What a lot of people don't realize when she says that, and it was a hell of an accomplishment, is that women's boxing was not a part of the Olympics until 2012.
All right.
So a lot of the veterans, old heads who accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing, they look at that when she incorporates that into her statement of GWOAT as, wait a minute. We possibly could have achieved the same thing. We'll never know. We can't get into revisionist history, but a lot of them feel like they could have accomplished a gold medal in the Olympics as well. Then we get to the point where let's forget about the amateur piece and how she was at the first Women's Olympics. Then you get into her record and you get into the knockout ratio. And I feel like right now, then you get into the age. She is only 25 years young. 25 years young. And I believe that we've never heard an athlete that young try to claim that status. And I'm not saying that she will not get to that point. But I'm going to say undeniably based off of other women not having the opportunity in the Olympics, her age, as well as her not having a great knockout ratio, I would say that right now it is a bit premature for her to claim GWOAT status.
What you got, Q?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much like the Olympic thing was something that was a wrinkle. I found that out once we went to talking about the subject in particular with the great Christy Martin.
Right.
It made me dig into the bag a little quicker, a little deeper, you know what I'm saying, which I didn't know, learned that. And the Olympic pedigree is definitely a part of it. You know what I'm saying? She only 10 fights in. And so I will say I would have to agree because that's something I didn't know. When I was making, but even without that being said, I'm with her 100% in believing in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you speaking into existence. Just like we talked about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather don't care about what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? You believe in yourself, you go out there and prove everybody wrong. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's been doing to the highest level. And the knockout ratio, that's one thing. But I mean, she ain't even had a close fight. She ain't had a close fight. Everything done been unanimous or either 2 KOs. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and she also, and this is something that also without the Olympic pedigree, she probably wouldn't have had been accomplished the thing. She wouldn't have had the shot she had in 10 fights. She would have had to work a little. She would have had to take a lot more senior route than what she has taken. But either way it go, I think it's really premature. But I'm with her. I even seen
like the confidence.
I like the confidence, and I didn't call the GWOAT when we seen the GWOAT. You know what I'm saying? And I like that energy, man. And as long as she keep doing what she's doing, man, it's a lot. It's a lot that she put on herself now. But she had hold on, last thing, she had 3 weight classes. She had 3 weight classes in those 10 fights, and that's something no man or woman had done. So she should be confident like she is. And I mean, it's not gonna be the most you ain't gonna make the most friends with saying that, because like a lot of the older heads feel a certain way, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying, with the work they put in. But so I'm with JD on that. You know what I'm saying, and I'm also with the GWOAT because I mean, believe in yourself, man. That's what I got.
So let me say something. All right. So you mentioned the weight class in different weight divisions. You do know some of the belts she's won weren't even in existence until she started fighting. All right. So part of that, like she was the only person to hold a belt, and I think it was an IBF or something. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's some of those things have the Bill Ronda Rousey effect.
Made us some models, man.
Where Ronda Rousey was allowed to be the first and the greatest because there was nobody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
she a pioneer, baby.
But I think that's the thing that rubs people like Ann Wolfe, Christy Martin, and Layla Ali the wrong way. When you claim GWOAT status because of the advent of social media, you have all this attention, and now you have people who really paid their dues and paid their way. And 11 fights in, they couldn't claim anything but like where's my next fight at? I'm
Right.
you know, I can win and get on to the next fight.
And in fairness, right quick to Claressa, I do believe personally that a part of her claiming GWOAT status so early was a bit of a marketing tactic.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
especially using GWOAT.
Right.
GWOAT was,
exactly.
You know,
it was a marketing tactic. She knew, even she deep down probably knew it was premature when she began to say it, but she had to come into the game,
bring her attention,
kicking and yelling to have that attention come to her. So
that I 100% agree.
Lil Wayne did it, and then he got to a point where
best rapper alive.
You already know, man. Then he got to a point where like, damn, bro, this man might really be that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you get the people talking.
Right.
You get the people talking about you, which is what we're doing now.
Right.
So it's a good It's a good market. It's a good marketing tactic. I want to touch one other thing before we moved on to the next thing. She wants 3-minute rounds, right? You know, we had our interview with Christy Martin at JD. That was a great interview with Christy Martin. Claressa, when she fought Christina Hammer, said, "That's why I'm campaigning for 3 rounds, because I think if we would have had 3 rounds, I would have been able to knock her out." Christy Martin's reply to that in our interview was, "I have 31 knockouts fighting 2-minute rounds. You got power or you don't."
No.
So what do you think about, before we move on to the next thing, do women deserve 3-minute rounds in the sense that are people that in love with women's boxing? Because to me, a fighter's a fighter, whether you're a female or a male, and I think they should be held on the same esteem. But of course, we haven't looked at women's sports the same way. And because of that, you know, they shorten the rounds. They they don't get as much TV time as I believe they should. Do you think at this point the women's game is at a level right now where it deserves 3 rounds? And when I say deserve, I mean that financially, because you're gonna have to pay them more to fight. You know, but then the appetite for the consumer has to be there. So do you think? I'll let you have that first, Q, before we move on.
Well, I mean, I feel like when we're asking for 3-minute rounds, and I'm 100% with Christian Martin on that. I mean, you know, it's not going to change. Because everybody else that has knockouts, a higher knockout ratio, has the same amount of minute rounds as you. Mm-hmm. So I can't go with that one. I feel like that wasn't the right response. But either way it go, and also I feel like, with that being said, and I'm cool, I'm for it. If they do it, I'm for it. I mean, I'm for it. But now you also getting paid less to do more, which I'm never for that. Smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? So but that is true. If they're doing more work, they will command a higher paycheck. I think the idea behind it is
holding a time slot that long for some people that may not tune in as long. So I think that might be the reason for the shorter time. So
I'm saying they'll get paid less, because if you got, I'm not sure if the promoters at this point
will fork over the money for.
Yeah, if they're gonna fork over more money for extra, for the extra minutes, or whatever, you know, out of their pockets, you know, because you asked for it.
And that's a great point.
You know, I'm gonna say this about women going 3 rounds. I'm all for it. Personally,
minute rounds, y'all got
3 minutes. I'm down for 3-minute rounds. I think it should be just the same as men.
Right.
I think nothing should change. Here's what I think the biggest issue is: why for so long it hasn't gone there. To you all's point, we don't see the same level of knockouts in the women's game.
That's true.
And so I believe if you have some women who can market themselves with character and have that pop and that power, I think people will tune in the same as a men's fight.
Because if we can just to piggyback off your point before we move on, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't the UFC fights for women the same amount of time? Like, as far as rounds are concerned, I think they're 5 minutes too. So I mean, shout out to the UFC for treating their women equally when it comes to promoting them and actually giving them the same platform.
Because ultimately, what I really think it boils down to is if they don't have the confidence that there's going to be a level of knockouts, there are a number of people who may not care to see 12 rounds, 10 rounds, of 3 minutes a round of women constantly going the distance.
That's true.
So if you start to have a level of fighters who can knock women out, then I'm for it, man. I'm gonna tell you right, I'm for it.
So speaking of